G'day guys, Jeff here, and yes, Operation Missing in Action, that's been me. I've been away for a very long time, just some travel, bought a house, I'll get into that a little bit later, and where I've been. But, without the games are coming out now. So with the games coming out now, and for the fact that I used to rip it up with some other good players in Battlefield, I am definitely going to bring out a Battlefield 3 series. I've been playing the beta, as you can see, and I've got a few solid tips for this video. I suggest you stick around. Battlefield games are long, with the YouTube's upload limits lifted quite a bit. I'll be able to bring it to you. I mean, it's not terribly long, but there are some very good tips here that you may want to take note of. So, where have I been? I went to Peru and I did the Inca Trail, so you may have known that. So I took an overseas vacation, and the Inca Trail was fantastic. We actually trekked the trail. Did have porters to take our backpacks and things like that, but the trek was fantastic. We covered 35 kilometers in 3 days, roughly, and slept on the Andes Mountains in tents and whatnot, and it was just unbelievable. I definitely recommend it to people. Outside of that, I recently just got back from Croatia and Serbia, so I went there for a quick holiday and also a wedding. A mate got married. He was a New Zealander that I actually helped move his business over to Serbia, and he was there for the girls, but eventually he got married, so there you go. As for recently, as in the last month, I actually bought a house, and I've been extremely busy knocking down the kitchen, remodeling, and all that sort of fun / boring stuff, depending on what you look at it. But that's consuming the majority of my time. But I am now trying to put time into Battlefield 3, and that's why I'm going to bring you these videos. For the old guys who have seen my Battlefield 3 videos, I apologize in advance for some tactics that you may see me repeat or talk about. But outside of that, for the new guys, I will be going over some of the fundamentals of Battlefield 3, because the mechanics are different from other first-person shooters, and it's good to know these things. So, number one here, the M320 launcher that I was using, it's only good for destruction, as in destroying objectives that are destructible in the Frostbite engine, or by finishing off an enemy that you've shot and injured significantly. One part of what I was doing there is when you shoot someone in Battlefield 3, because the spawn system's on squad, meaning that you can spawn on your teammate, that you need to make sure you clear not one person, but you just don't run gun-ho after shooting one person. You've got to see if there was a squad spawn near them, or just as they died. Just going to Bravo then, one of the fantastic upgrades for Battlefield 3 is the fact you can see how far along the disarm or arm process is for a person. The arming is so quick, so it's more about disarming. Stopping it here, we all like our red men. Now, in Battlefield 3, you want to minimize your one-on-one engagements front on. So where the red man is, you do not want to be engaging people there. Instead, you want to be looking to where that red man was, but actually trying to shoot people on the 45 or, even at best a 70-degree angle sideways, like an L-shaped attack. So they're going forward worrying about the people who are fronting their one-on-one, and you take them out from the side. That's definitely the best in Battlefield. I mean, it applies to other first-person shooters as well, but for Battlefield, it's a golden tip. So I am looking left every once in a while for where my front one-on-one would be. That's why I'm using a little bit of the tree cover, so I'm harder to see. And you definitely want to get side shots in like that. Battlefield 3, the beta anyway, is not terribly lag sensitive on my experience. There are issues with the map, like there's a lot of falling through the map and whatnot, especially around near the alpha plan in this first stage here. You can only play Rush at the moment in this map for those who haven't started the beta, but I definitely recommend it if you plan again on the Battlefield 3. It's going to be a fantastically massive game, and I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, I see these two guys here. I'm trying to sneak around to get the side shot to them, but they saw me, and that's just a fail on my behalf. But yeah, Battlefield 3 is going to be fantastically huge, so I definitely want to get together with my old crew, like John and Azona and Hypermole, and rip shit up. I'm actually going to be buying it for the Xbox and not the PlayStation this time around. There was a lot of requests for people to play on the Xbox, and I generally find that it's easier to get bigger matches or quicker matches that are full on the Xbox. So I definitely want to have my Battlefield experience there, and maybe even get Stoneface Lock and a few of the other guys into to my lobby so we can absolutely dominate as a squad and bring you guys some tips. The perk system in here is a little bit interesting. You could call it a perk system for want of a better word, but you get specializations, or you can customize what you have as a specialization, whether you're good at whether suppressive fire is not as intensely affecting you, whether you can create a bigger suppression of fire effect. You got sprint, squad sprint, ammo, flak jacket, or flak, and there's a few others in there. I'll go over them in other videos, but at the moment you can take you can press up on your controller buttons, the up button on your controllers, to actually see the information on that customization. So I recommend you test it out and use the beta to go through all the weapons and attachments. Some attachments are good for some weapons, some suck, whether it's a visibility issue or whatnot. Here's an example of shooting sideways on the person and then shooting back so on the squad spawn for the person I missed. One tactic I actually like doing here is when you shoot someone, I fall back sometimes, and because they see a kill cam, they see me running back towards my home base, and then when the kill cam's timed out, I then move back into an alternate position. So then they have two options. One is a revenge kill on where I killed them from, a revenge kill going back to where I came from, and or obviously just ignoring me completely. So for the fact that 2 out of 3 is a revenge kill, I want to put myself in a position that I can advantageously see. Oh, that's unfortunate. When the spawns happen like that, and you're to the left or behind them, that's the best way to take out a squad, obviously. And I've noticed in this beta particularly, you need to really wait until one or two of the people are lined up for the shot. So you want to maneuver yourself so you can shoot through one person into the other, and maximize your opportunity to take out the entire squad. So with being tricky, I said 2 out of 3 is a revenge kill. I generally find it about 60%, 66% of the time. Someone you shoot in Battlefield, they do want to come back to your position. So you want to make it to your advantage and place yourself in a position where you're going to be able to see them approach your old vicinity or position, and then you can take them out from a new location, and you can rinse and repeat. I've got some videos, or I only just started recording, but I set the recorder up in the new house, but I've got some games here where I've literally owned the guy 8-9 kills in a row just because they keep going back to where I was previously. Another tip I like is what I've done here is that I like to push forward on the edge of the map, and after making a 1 or 2 kills, I then actually reverse course and try to come in on the flank of the people who have passed me. And by doing that, that actually gives me obviously the advantage that they're worried about the people in front of them, and I've come around behind. That's what she said. Here's a nice little rock for the beta. Once you've pushed forward, the goal on this stage of the map, I think, as a defender, the best opportunity is once you've clashed at the initial clash when everyone sprints up to the objectives for the attack or defense. Once you've pushed forward, you then actually this guy shouldn't have done that. When you're getting shot at and it's from your flank or sides, you want to go instant prone, especially if you're near a cover like I was, and he just was trying to be smart with the handgun and didn't shoot it quick enough, and or aimed at my lower body, and he was an easy takeout from the spinning. So you want to make sure your sensitivity's up enough that you can spin around like that for the shot. That definitely makes it worth it. One technique that I just did there that is good is I use the grenades for 3 purposes in Battlefield. One is to take out a group of enemy in a small area. You could also take out walls with it. 2 is that if I'm stuck in a firefight and I need to reload, I throw the grenade in their general vicinity. Hopefully they're worried about the grenade rather than shooting at me while I'm reloading, and then I can pop up for the final kill. And lastly is that you can, with the grenades, you can actually, if you're in a position where you've got 2 vulnerability points, like a doorway or whatnot, you want to throw the grenade out one door from a timing perspective, and then look towards the opposite door or area. For doing that, throwing that grenade you listen out for the voices. If you're on the American team, you listen for foreign accent. If you're on the accent, the accented or foreigner team, you listen out for the American accent. Because you'll hear them say stuff like "shit, I'm under fire," or "holy shit, there's a grenade," or whatnot. So you definitely want to use that to your advantage and listen out for those voices. Good quality headset definitely makes sense in Battlefield. I've noticed in this beta, they've balanced a lot of the sounds. Sorry, a lot of the options out have been balanced, but as part of that, the sounds are only good when there's no gunfire on near you. By that I mean that if you hear someone running a lot, like very easily, if you've actually don't have people shooting around you. But once people start shooting, it's very hard to differentiate who's doing what. So you obviously have to look at the minimap. Now, I actually did see a guy on the minimap here, and I'm trying to find where that guy is. You see the red marker there. I know he's to my right somewhere. He happened to pop down in this field here. When you're on the second stage, one of the things I absolutely love doing is playing the Ticket Slayer position, which, like Battlefield Bad Company 2, is where you push up into their spawn, 1 or 2 people, hopefully from the same squad so you can respawn back. And as long as they're not getting past for the arming, you definitely want to bring yourself up for, there's the insta-prone result from getting shot at from a position I didn't understand. You definitely want to put yourself in a position where you can slay some tickets from their spawn, and I don't consider that cheating in any fashion or whatnot. People say it's a cheap tactic, but not so. I mean, they're spawning all around you. They can take out 1 or 2 people very easily. It's just that one of the common things that people bitch about is that they, when they spawn in, they expect to sprint straight away. So people go, oh, I'll spawn in at the deployment and I'll start sprinting straight away to get back into the action. So their ignorance of understanding the battlefield, looking at listening to the sounds, looking at where you spawn in, especially with the spawning system on Battlefield, you need to understand your environment, and by understanding your environment, you can take care of the threats, or spawn in an area that's not going to be dangerous. So people focused on one thing, singly focused, or only have their only goal is to get back into the fight. So it's at their detriment. I really thought I got this guy here. There was a lot of shots in the head there, and he threw a grenade that I got. I'm trying to run backwards here and jump over the rock, but I got stuck, and the grenade got me because I was hurt. But yeah, because their single-mindedness wants them to get back in the battle, use that to your advantage. Another easy way of shooting people, I spoke about shooting them on the 45 or the 70. That was my mistake there. I actually heard a shotgun blast, and whenever you hear a shotgun, and you think it's going to be a one-on-one battle, you should use alternate weapons like grenades or whatnot, or handgun even, to try to win that fight. So that was my fault. But when you are approaching people one-on-one, the best advantage in Battlefield is to get them while they're sprinting. So if you're in full sprint like I am now, the best person to shoot me head-on is someone who's ready to shoot or is walking, because the aim down sights is super quick, especially for red dots and the ACOGs. You definitely want to do that as put yourself in a position where you're catching people in a full sprint for the one-on-one fights. So with here, I'm taking a look at the minimap and actually determining at what point can we push up. Now, we're not having any arming issues. Some groups are really quick to arm, and if that's the case, I do not recommend what I'm doing now. I only recommend pushing up when you want to go up there with your team and be the ticket slayer. I mean, they have just over 50 tickets left. That actually isn't too long in the scheme of things. I mean, it's almost halfway, depending on where they started at. Usually the 100 mark when they breach a stage. He's obviously a new player because he's trying to go over the top, which is what it looks like when you're actually going. Here's a nice double, an example of people being behind each other, so I can go full auto and shoot in that general direction. When with reviving people, I find you have to be a lot closer, and you actually have to revive on them. One of the great features of Battlefield is you can choose not to accept the revive, and also if you get revived and then you get shot immediately, and you accept the revive and you get shot immediately, then that gives you it won't revive you again, so you can't just do it over and over again. So the person who's reviving can't whore out his revival points. There was 2 examples of shooting someone from the side, shooting someone in a full sprint. It definitely puts you in an advantage. You want to be mindful of that breath noise that you make when you hit 100% health, because I find that when you do that, when people play Battlefield, it only takes 1 or 2 shots to kill them. It's because they've artificially entered the battle. Well, they've incorrectly entered the battle when they haven't been at full health. There are times for doing that, like for MCOM, station defense or attack. Just to hold back the attackers a little bit more. One thing you can do with this. One thing you could do with the laser sights and tack lights, you might have seen the little hot tip, but you can push up on your D-pad and it will actually remove it. I do see this guy on the minimap and I'm out of ammo and I want his gun, and by the time I see him he's actually saw me, and away we go. The classes that I like, let's talk about weapons for a second. The 416 I think is quite good. You chuck a red dot on there, or a holo. The holos get a little bit muted when you're in the caves here, but the tack lights and laser lights are actually really interesting, because I found, just through my own testing, that if someone's shining a tack light on you, even if you shoot directly in the middle of that tack light, you're not actually getting optimal hits on the person. I'm not sure if Battlefield 3 randomizes your hit spread, your hit pattern. That'd be really interesting to check out when Den Kersen does some reviews of the game code or whatnot, or people determine things or information's leaked. But I definitely think that when the tack light is shining at you, if you shoot dead center of the tack light, it's not an optimal hit range. You want to actually shoot to the left or to the right of the tack light to get the hits. I find that you want to shoot slightly to the right of center of the tack light to start getting hits on the person. I think DICE have built that into the game so that when the tack light is shined at you, that it does randomize your hit spray when you're shooting directly at it, because what else is the advantage of the tack light? It only blinds a little bit. I mean, it's annoying, it blinds a little bit, but it gives away your position. So I think they did put in some randomized spread, so as your bullets go down the line, instead of being perfectly accurate, I think they spread out around the tack light to minimize the impact damage. But that's just from what I believe I've seen. So I would like to know what it actually is, and if you guys have any comments on how you think it works, please leave a comment. Outside of that, there's absolutely nothing wrong with pushing into the spawn to enter the tickets, and that's what we're doing now. The game's almost over. Picked up a few good kills. There's a couple of good tactics there, and hopefully I can tee up with the guys and get our original crew together. There is a problem with audio in that I found you can talk to other people in your team, but you can't talk to people in your squad. So it's very on and off. Even if people who have open NAT types, it's still pretty on and off, as in they'll be in your squad, sometimes you can hear them, and then all audio between your squad stops. If you leave squad and they leave squad, you can talk to them again. So when you do hear people talking, they're usually other squad leaders or in other squads or whatnot. So that'll be interesting. I would like to know what Battlefield, what DICE and EA are doing with squad leaders, because it would be good if you could push something on your controller or 2-button combination and actually voice chat to other squad leaders. That would be fantastic, but I don't think they're doing it. We'll see. Anyway, guys, ended that match. I missed what the KD was, but I think it was fairly significant, for the role that I played. And until next time, guys, see ya.